Welcome back. I will now be previewing all of Sunday's action of Week 5 in the NFL, starting with the early game between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. These guys are going to be playing overseas in the UK, London, I should say more specifically, as it is obviously very common for the NFL to play regular season games overseas. So coming into this matchup, even though the Packers are the home team, I don't believe they necessarily will have the home field advantage, as I'm sure there will be fans cheering for the Giants as well in their stadium. I am going to give the edge to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Obviously, when you have a quarterback who's won the MVP the last two seasons, there's a reason he's won the MVP as a quarterback for the past 2 years. So as I said, the Packers should prevail, get their fourth win of the season, heading into week number 6. The Pittsburgh Steelers are heading into Buffalo to take on the Bills in week 5. Both of these teams are coming in with opposite records, as the Steelers are coming in with a 1-3 record, while the Bills are sitting comfortably at 3-1. I will give the edge to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They just happen to have a better overall team when it comes to offense, defense, special teams. Those are the key three factors into having a successful team going into the postseason. The Los Angeles Chargers are heading into Ohio to take on the Cleveland Browns. Both these teams are sitting at 2-2. Jacoby Brissett and Justin Herbert should be the respective quarterbacks for each squad going up against each other. I will give the edge to the Chargers, as I just believe they have a better team. No disrespect to the Browns, as obviously the Browns are still in contention in that AFC North, but I just believe when you have the likes of the Bengals and the Ravens in your same division, there's no guarantee that the Browns are going to squeak into the postseason. As for the Chargers, like I said, with Justin Herbert behind center, you really can't go wrong with him, so the Chargers should get their third win of the season heading into week number 6. A battle of the AFC South with the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans are still the only winless team of the regular season. They're sitting at 0-3-1, while the Jags are tied for first in their division at 2-2. I will give the edge to Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just believe that having that extra year of experience under his belt is definitely going to help him progress further along in the season. And when you have a head coach who's won the Super Bowl in Doug Peterson with the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2017-18 season, that helps as well. So as I said previously, the Jacksonville Jaguars should move on to week number 6 with their third win of the season. A battle of the NFC North when it comes to the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Fields and Kirk Cousins should be the respective quarterbacks for each team going up against one another. I will give the edge to the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins. I know he has been inconsistent at times, and who knows, this could be another hiccup game for him. But I truly believe the Vikings are just that good of a team this year that they should prevail and beat their NFC North foe. The Detroit Lions are heading into Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. Both of these teams are struggling, to say the least, to start off the season, as they are both sitting at 1-3. Jared Goff, I'm sure, was going to have some revenge on his mind, as it was the Patriots who took down his then Rams in Super Bowl 53, if I'm not mistaken, and what was a defensive struggle, to say the least, of that game. So I'm sure that in the back of his mind, he would love nothing more than to get that W over Bill Belichick. And realistically, without Mac Jones and without Brian Hoyer, I'm not 100% sure who the starting quarterback is going to be for the Patriots, but unless they absolutely dominate the Lions' defense, I can honestly see the Lions prevailing and getting their second win of the season when it comes to this matchup. The Seattle Seahawks are heading into the Bayou to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Seahawks are sitting at 2-2, while the Saints, unfortunately, are at 1-3. Now, there's no need to panic, as the Buccaneers and the Falcons only have 2 wins themselves. So if the Saints should happen to prevail and get the victory against the Seahawks, then they can at least be that much closer to catching up. You don't want to fall too far behind in the standings, especially when you get to this part of the season. So I do believe that the Saints should prevail with Andy Dalton behind center and get their second win, as I said, of the season. A battle of the AFC East between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. The Dolphins are coming into this matchup at 3-1, while the Jets are sitting at 500 with a 2-2 record. Without Tua, the Miami Dolphins should be starting Teddy Bridgewater, and the Jets should have Zach Wilson, if I'm not mistaken, starting at the quarterback position. I will give the edge to the Dolphins. They just seem to have a better team overall, especially when you have a threat like Tyreek Hill, who can run past defenders like the Roadrunner. I truly believe that the Dolphins, even without Tua, should prevail and get their 4th win of the season. A battle of the NFC South with the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the Falcons, they are looking to do anything they can to try and get a victory over Tom Brady, as they are still winless against him, and obviously that famous Super Bowl that I'm sure Falcons fans love talking about. I don't believe they will have a massive lead to blow again this time, but I truly believe that the Buccaneers do have the Falcons' numbers, and they should get their 3rd win of the season heading into next week. The Tennessee Titans are taking on the Washington Commanders. The Tennessee Titans are coming into this matchup sitting at 2-2, while the Washington Commanders are struggling, sitting at 1-3. Coming into this matchup, you're going to have Ryan Tannehill taking on... who's Washington quarterback? Oh my gosh. I don't even know who the quarterback is, to be honest with you, and I do apologize for this delay. But I do believe that the Titans, they have more experience. And as I said previously, the Commanders, they have gotten off to a horrible start, even though they put all their faith in Carson Wentz. But unfortunately, that has not gone as planned so far. I just believe the Titans have more experience. And when you have a backup like Derrick Henry, you really can't go wrong. I believe the running game will prevail for the Titans, as they should get their 3rd win of the season heading into week number 6. The San Francisco 49ers are heading into Carolina to take on the Panthers. The 49ers are sitting at 2-2 coming into this matchup, while the Carolina Panthers are sitting at 1-3. Baker Mayfield has definitely not been the quarterback that the Panthers were hoping he would be, as I'm sure they were hoping that they could have been 3-1 or at very least 2-2 coming into this matchup. The 49ers, especially with Jimmy G, I just believe that they have something to prove. Yeah, they don't have Trey Lance, so I'm sure everyone's probably critiquing the 49ers, saying that they're not going to be that good of a team, but realistically, they're not that bad of a team either. I do believe that Jimmy G will get the victory for the 49ers, and they should get their 3rd win of the season heading into week number 6. The Philadelphia Eagles are the only undefeated team, and they are heading into Kyler Murray's house to take on the Arizona Cardinals, who are sitting at 2-2. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, he is looking like the franchise quarterback, so I can't imagine too many fans are missing Carson Wentz, to say the least. I will give the edge to the Eagles. They just seem to have a better overall team. The Cardinals have just been too inconsistent, in my opinion, to get the W against the Eagles. So I do believe the Eagles still should fly high heading into week number 6, undefeated. The Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams, probably one of the most intriguing afternoon games, to say the least, as you have Cooper Rush, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, taking on Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. I honestly think that this could be the game that either makes or breaks the Cowboys. If they can manage to prevail against the Rams, they are definitely going to be a threat in the NFC. However, if the Rams can show up with their defense and Matthew Stafford can have less turnovers than he does touchdowns, then the Rams should prevail. In my honest opinion, and this is going with my gut, I truly believe that the home team will prevail and get their 3rd win of the season, while Cooper Rush will unfortunately suffer his first loss as a member of the Cowboys. And for the Sunday night matchup, you have an intriguing one, to say the least, when it comes to 2 AFC North rivals in the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Burrow taking on Lamar Jackson, both, in my opinion, MVP caliber quarterbacks, to say the least. I honestly believe the Ravens will get the better of Joe Cool and the Bengals to get their 3rd win of the season, as obviously Lamar is trying to prove that he's worth every penny that he can potentially get once he gets his new contract. So as I said previously, the Ravens should get their 3rd win of the season. Until next time, take care.